Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Incredible Podcast. This is episode 64. I'm one of your hosts, Xander Scully, and joining with me is Jeffrey Wittenhagen. What's up, Jeff?
Episode Commodore 64. So.
Oh. See, it's so funny because I think of the Nintendo 64. That's what I thought of.
I'm old. So old. So old. Now, yeah, it's been a week. Been a fun week, productive week.
Yeah.
Finished my course out in Colorado Springs, so I'm a space cadet now, Xander. Ooh. Doing those nice voices for all the listeners on the podcast app. But also did a couple of announcements and did a couple of things this week as well. Number one, first and foremost, is got a new book coming out probably in February. It is by a developer of Atari from the Jaguar era, and his name is Ted, and his son Jaron wrote the book. It's awesome. It's about like getting through and coming through adversity and all the things. It's a really good, heartfelt book, like 128 pages, something like that. It's going to be a paperback, going to be super freaking cool. Happy to help him publish it. So that's one thing that I did an announcement to the patrons. And then number two is I started on my blog and I started reviewing the process and my mentality behind creating some of the hipster wooden art that I do and that I paint.
Nice.
I went deep in hipster style thorough writing about the processes and everything and why I did colors the way I did. Because I'm not doing everything one-to-one. I'm making it like pop on the wood. Because wood absorbs, Xander. It absorbs paint. So it's been fun. Maybe nobody likes it, but I think it's fun. I don't know.
I thought
it's on video game.
That's what I was going to say. Like, someone's going to be like, I thought this was a video game podcast. We're talking about wood. But,
yeah, video game art on wood. You got wood. I got wood. We all got wood.
Well, we also got some video games to talk about this week. But no podcast is an Incredible Podcast about the Kyle's Trials. And what do we have this week?
As I take a sip of tequila since I don't have to work tomorrow, Xander. So got a couple of things here. Classic Kyle. Number one is went through the T-shirt archive and I actually have a shirt here. I'm not going to take it out of the plastic, but it's one that Kyle designed the logo. And this is the old VGBS Gaming Podcast logo on a T-shirt, which is Bionic Commando for the NES. And he did just put VGBS Podcast. It's super simple. It's on black. He wore it a lot. It still looks like clean and pristine.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how this dude did all that. We bagged this stuff up when we packed it just to make sure. But it's really cool. It's cool to see the creativity that Kyle had for the, retro gaming enthusiast. But I got something super cool, super rare, Kyle custom, and it goes in hand with Ted, who programmed for the Atari Jaguar. Kyle has a Atari Jaguar white console. The ones that were these were at dentist offices.
That's right.
Like later on. And if you look, he put a custom Kyle Jaguar sticker that is like holographic.
That's really cool.
Now in classic Kyle, he couldn't just have the white one. He actually has a full white back, but he made it two-tone because he customized it like this. Yeah, so that way it has the innards. He has the actual Jaguar dental piece on the front, which removed the dental logo, and then he has the white back. I have it in a storage as well. So yeah, Kyle has crazy stuff. The rabbit hole is deep, Xander. The rabbit hole is deep. I did get one other thing from the community, Xander.
Oh yeah,
and it's super cool, and it goes hand in hand with something that we talked about. So for those of you that don't know, friends with historic Nintendo World Championships competitor, the Sega World Champion, Chris Tang.
Ooh, yeah. Boom.
And so he sent me a couple of things. Number one is he sent me a goodie thing of Tetris and says, boom, Tetris for Jeff.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you that don't know, and it actually wrote Tetris in your mouth, by the way. Yeah, Chris Tang is a Chris Tang is hilarious in a chat. I love him. I didn't even ask him to send me this, by the way, because this isn't the item that I wanted from him. But Boom Tetris for Jeff, I did the Nintendo World Champion or the Tetris World Championships Finals commentary with Chris Tang, and him and I were doing Boom Tetris for Jeff. That meme came from me. And I said piecement places, the piecement of the places, because now was I an idiot at it? Probably. But also, I was going through the first time for my allergic reaction to gluten that I didn't know I had. So I literally, like moments before the finals, ate a taco and my throat closed. And I had to go to the bathroom, like make myself breathe, all the things. I came out like loopy as shit, like I was drunk. Didn't drink any alcohol. And I go and do the finals. And I said crazy shit. We kept on saying, we're neck and neck, neck and neck. And then they like zoom in on Jeff's neck. Because Jeff is actually, not me, the competitor who won second place at the World Championships versus Jonas, rest in peace. Jonas was the champ. And that was the most viral Tetris World Championships because of the meme, because of my dumb ass. And, like, for real. And then the next year, because they got so much publicity, they actually got an ESPN, they got a bunch of deals, all the things.
Yeah, it got
huge. Tetris on the map. It got huge. And so I am just happy that my dumbass was somewhat responsible for them at least getting notoriety. To the point where Chris Tang got to play Logan Paul.
Yeah.
A year or two ago, probably like 2 years ago now. Ironically, as I was supposed to come back and do commentary for that actual match, but I was late getting into the convention, so I missed it. And Vince, who runs it, it was Uncle Tusk from Nintendo Age, by the way. He actually didn't let me know who it was, so I had no clue it was Logan Paul. I had no idea. He was, hey, there's a special person coming in. We'd love to have you come in and do the commentary. But I couldn't. I didn't make it in time. I was driving. I was coming from Hawaii and driving in. Like I was like late. But the item that I got from Chris Tang, Xander, it's super fucking cool. Chris Tang is like a genius. He worked on Gauntlet 4 for the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, he did a lot of the manuals. I think he did the manual for Tengen's Gauntlet on the NES. He did the manual for it, I believe.
Oh, I don't know about the Gauntlet on the NES, but him and I, and it ties to Kyle, were huge fans of Life Force on the NES.
Oh, yeah.
So when Chris Tang saw Greatest Origins, he made me a custom case. So this is Greatest Origins Life Force 3.
Whoa.
The Switch. And this is holographic.
That is dope.
He did the whole thing, the back, everything.
It looks legit.
Well, and he just gave me the insert. I had the game already, obviously. And in classic Chris Tang format, he gave me like stickers and
my
label.
God.
And like I can put a label on my cartridge too to match everything if I want to. So like hats off to Chris Tang. I just saw. I mean, we're friends on Facebook, and he posted a copy. I'm like, can I get one? Whatever it costs, dude. I want one of your awesome things. So now I have a copy of Life Force 3 for Nintendo Switch, a limited Chris Tang edition.
I think one of my favorite things of Chris Tang, because I have him on Facebook as well. One of my favorite things is like this a couple of years ago, where he bought like a bunch of eggs, and the eggs were slowly starting to expire, and he would like post the picture of the date, and he's like, "I'm gonna still eat them."
Chris Tang.
But no, like Chris Tang is awesome. I mean, like I found out
legit.
Yeah, I found out through the gaming community, and like he's always like tinkering with something and making something cool. Like really, really, really nice guy. Really cool.
Yeah, super cool dude. And I haven't seen him in a couple years now, just because I don't go to conventions hardly at all. The only one we're going to is the Midwest Gaming Classic, even this year in April. But yeah, outside of that, like I haven't seen him since I went to a convention on the West Coast. I want to say it was Game On Expo, and I saw him last in Arizona. That was badass though. But Xander, enough about Kyle's trials and cool shit. Is it time?
We're going
to community game.
Well, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the community game, and then we'll get into like games we've been playing. But because the games I've been playing like kind of ties into the Kyle's trials, ironically, which is really weird. Like when you showed the Jaguar, I'm like, okay.
Well, I will say then, Xander, my interest has peaked. And let's derail this sucker, and let's go to what you've been playing, because I'm interested now.
And we could definitely segue that into the community, because one of the things that I talked about last week that I was wanting to start doing was take my mini PC and hook it up to my CRT with the HDMI to AV out. So last week, you remember I said, I was like, I just couldn't get it to work, where I was off for a couple of days. And I'm like, that's all I did was sit there and troubleshoot this thing. I got it working. And it was so much fun. And what was funny is I actually had to redo a whole nother image because I accidentally formatted my Batocera image. Like I accidentally formatted the SD card. So I had to do it all over again. So I had to do that. And then, get it to work on the CRT. And the reason why I said it ties them to Kyle's trials was because I was playing on the Jaguar. I was playing Tempest 2000 because,
hell yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man. So when you showed that Jaguar, I was like, holy crap, that's funny. But so I've been playing that.
Now, I mentioned the book I'm publishing. Ted worked on Tempest 2000.
Oh, wow. Hell yeah.
So
it's all
the book
full circle, man.
It's all coming together, and we're going to make sure we play it on the Dental Dam copy so we can.
But yeah.
Like, badass that you were able to play some Tempest 2000. One of my favorites on the Jaguar.
Oh, yeah.
Bar none.
Yeah.
It's held up real well. And, even the ones that have come after it, like Tempest 2000 is my favorite.
Yeah, and so I've been playing a lot of, I played Jaguar, I played some Sega Saturn, like Darius Gaiden, I played some of that, Dreamcast, PlayStation 1, just that kind of stuff. And then I started playing our community game.
Yes.
That's when I went into that. Started playing Ethos, the new game coming out by TheRetroBro, because the demo is out.
Yeah.
And, it was funny.
Aethos, a game that he actually developed for the NES Bite-Off 5 last year. It was called Echoes of Elysium. And so then he took that game, that Bite-Off game, which is what a lot of developers do when they create something for a competition, and fully fleshed it out. This game is a Metroidvania. And he's fleshing it out, changed the name to Aethos. The ship is still called the Elysium, by the way, so it's still a thing. And is taking it to Kickstarter early this year. Might be live by the time we launch this episode. Might be live after. We'll definitely post a link to the campaign in the show notes to make sure that y'all are able to back it. And of course, I'll be involved with it just by making a cool ass wooden pixel art character for John, the developer.
Yeah, I was playing Ethos. I was playing it on the CRT because I got Batocera working, and I'm like, I downloaded the demo, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to play it on the CRT. I'm going to play it and enjoy it for what it is. And what was funny is not only was I playing it on the CRT, but I had my Nintendo Switch NES wireless controller. Remember the NES controllers with the Switch Online? I had that synced through Bluetooth. So I was playing it with like a legit NES controller on a legit CRT. And man, it's funny because the game is so much more than like your standard NES game. Because so I'm going into the whole homebrew. Like with this season, I'm really diving into homebrew, and I know there's a lot of great NES, games out there. But playing it, and like what was really interesting is John took elements of things like Dark Souls, took things like Dark Souls and transitioned it into this 8-bit adventure, this Metroidvania, like. Deciding if you want to sacrifice your shield for health and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, this is crazy.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting too because I initially had played the demo 2.3. And I was chatting with John because I'm like, I keep playing and keep dying because I'm not getting any power-ups for health. I kept on only getting a little bit. He's like, oh, no, dude, it's a random drop. I went like 40 times back and forth on the screen, 0 drops. And so I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on, but I don't get any drops. 2.6, no issues, by the way, with the power-ups, as well as the demo for a NES Maker back in the day with Echoes of Elysium. So the thing is that I'm playing it on the Mr. Multi-System 2 that we have talked about on the show, and I playing it with Kyle's USB NES controllers, an NES controller with USB, not quite the same exact tech, but it plays just like an NES.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing about FPGA, obviously, is that it's supposed to emulate NES hardware as perfectly as possible. So I had like no lag, none of the things. And if I really want to, I can use any of the emulator goodies that it has as well. So, I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I like the ideas that he has presented within the Metroidvania formula, where you are wandering around and you go to the ship. The ship does this awesome animation. You get to pick different planets to go to. Go to the wrong planet, you can't get too far without the right ability, which is the ability gating. And then you go to a different planet. And the planets technically are interconnected, which I like too. A little bit of secret in there. But as you get the power-ups, you can continually make more progress, be a little more powerful, be able to destroy blocks. The irony was, and I was talking to John about this, so I had no clue how to use the shield. I'm like, it's a shield. I can't block anything. What's going on? And in reality, it is not a shield. It is something that you use to, like, make your life go up when you're low on health, and I never needed it.
Yeah.
So that's what you're talking about with the Souls-like aspect, where you can sacrifice a little energy for your health, which, had I known that, without getting those power-ups, I could have actually gained my health back. So irony is bliss, you know what I mean? Like, I never was able to, in that first demo, get too far because I had no clue how to use that power-up. That's just me being a knucklehead. But as we beta test and give him feedback, he's going to work in those type of things, because when you're a developer connected to a game, he didn't realize, oh yeah, that shield thing isn't quite, it's not quite as clear as it could be. So he's going to meme it something more like regen or something like that.
Yeah.
Something that's real easy for the player to understand, because if an idiot like me can't understand it, then, others will definitely be able to.
Yeah, the music's really good. I thought that the controls were really, really solid. I like the little hover jump that you can do. I really like that a lot. And, I want to play more of it. I didn't play as much as I wanted to because I was spending so much of the day, transferring ROMs and getting, a Windows 11 PC to work on a CRT from 2001.
Well, here's the question for you, Xander. Do you know that Echoes of Elysium won an award at the Bite-Off? And do you know which award it was?
It was for music, man.
He won Best Music. So yeah. The music is dope in this.
So good.
Really good. And the thing was, the original demo didn't have any of the animations that were going on with the ships flying. Like, the game was still cool. It was still cool as shit. Felt like there's a little more enemies, too. A little harder in the demo, which I appreciated. But, now he probably is just making it easy for the demo to allow us little noobs to jump in. How far did you get in the demos?
I got to, I'm trying to remember. I remember exactly where I was at, because I got the hover jump, and it was like a blue background. That's all I can remember.
You fight any bosses?
I didn't fight any bosses, no.
Okay, so basically, you're at the very beginning of the game, Xander. So there's 4 little biomes unlockable in the demo, and in the first biome, you get the hover jump, you hover back up, you go right, and there's like a couple doors, and you fight the first boss. It's like a little little guy goes back and forth, and he's like a ooze guy, and
he's green. He's green, right? Yeah.
And when you beat him, you get a core thing, you gotta shoot it, and then you can save in your ship, and it unlocks a little bit of your ship. Wandering around more, there's eventually a rock guy you gotta fight, and he's pretty challenging. I ended up beating the whole demo yesterday, And so you get to a certain point and like this big guy comes on screen is like talking to you. And then it's like, thank you for playing the demo. I think John said it's like 30% of the game or something. It's a very little amount of the game that's in this. And the full game is going to be a fleshed out Metroidvania experience, which I think is cool as shit. So yeah, Aethos is going to be like you said, something that is much more than your typical NES homebrew and would rival something on the NES, like because you're doing more of a traditional Metroidvania, which, you know, you had a lot of NES games with Metroidvania aspects, but, you know, this is true Metroidvania form factor, which is great to see, and exactly why I love the NES Maker itself, because it has that easy to learn like introduction, and then those that are truly talented like pop up and then learn how to program like John is doing and make something like truly special, because he's over there programming just like everybody else that's in NES Maker. This shit is bananas, man.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Like I said, his progression, like watching his, you know, early games like Desert of the Undead, you know, which was more of a run and gun sort of game, you know, seeing the beginnings of that, and now, you know, this Metroidvania that has, you know, mechanics that you would see in like AAA games like from software, you know, seeing stuff like that, I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. And I know it's just scratching the surface, because I know there's like so many people out there that are like super talented. So this makes me really eager, man. I'm it's funny, I'm getting more excited for homebrews than what's coming out, you know, from the AAA stuff, like the more modern stuff. I'm like, I want the homebrews.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you know, I wrote 500-page book on NES homebrew back in the day before NES Maker. This was literally like in my book. I said, there's this new thing coming out, NES Maker. It's gonna blow open the community, and it did. But like back in the day, homebrews were like single screeners that all had black background. Wasn't a whole lot to it. You know, artistically, it was like first year, you know, NES games, like your black box games. And then, you know, it starts every year, homebrew started to progress more and more and more. And those developers, super freaking talented, started making like masterpieces. And then NES Maker brings in artists, basically, because you can literally work within the tool and make like cool ass art and stuff. And then program on the back end the crazy shit, which means you're getting like games that are like rivaling the NES. I think it was, there was a columnist, Seth Abramson, that was trying to coin the term NES 2. Didn't really take on, because it's like something that wouldn't have been possible on the NES because of the new mappers. It's the second NES. And I go with what Kristen Dietering, Nintendo Age alum, says. He calls it the aftermarket scene. It's not really homebrew, because we're not homebrewing stuff in basements, even though I'm literally recording in a basement now and talking about homebrew. Irony. But it's more aftermarket. So after Warriors Woods, everything after that release is like aftermarket, after the market was done. And the aftermarket has exploded to the point where there's more games now in the aftermarket than were released and licensed.
Oh, yes.
Like we're getting there. And I don't know about physical releases. We're probably getting close. But like definitely with digital. Definitely with digital. And it's amazing. It's way fun for me to do. And that's the thing, that's just NES. And then we got Xander going into the Genesis, which is just as insane.
Yeah.
And now Super Nintendo's blowing up the last couple of years. And it's just, there's a Jaguar homebrew scene, man. Like you go to MGC started as Jaguar Fest. And there are Jaguar homebrew games, man. Like it's every after console has an aftermarket. And Commodore 64, same deal.
Yeah.
So it's just a fun time. I'm super excited about homebrew stuff, because homebrew to me is also indie. And then we have our actual indie games too. And it's just good. The rabbit hole goes deep, man. And when you talk about people being able to now port NES and Genesis to Steam, it's just like everything is intertwined, dude. It's
and what makes it exciting is like not only these are like talented developers, but these are developers who grew up with the console, you know. So it's just like there's something, you know, special about it, because I'm pretty sure every single person who made a game on NES Maker, like, never would have thought in a million years I would have my own NES game. I can only imagine that feeling, and then having it on the cartridge and box art and just, it's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, man. It is a wild thing. That's why when I was like publishing for Switch, I wanted to get those ports physical on a Switch cartridge when I was doing the physical publishing. And we never were able to make the stars align for it. And the thing is, though, now Limited Run is doing it. All the companies are doing it, which is great. So there's opportunity for these developers to have licensed releases, which, like, you take your homebrew aftermarket NES game that you're making on the side, and then it's like licensed Switch release. And that, like, everything goes insane.
It just gives them more exposure too, because then you're going to appeal more to the normal common folk, like when that game is like in Best Buy or something, and someone's like, oh, what's this game, and then there are one of us. Yep.
Well, exactly, and it's freaking wild shit. So Xander, the next community experience, we'll call it. It's not just a game. We are going to do, because we're going to Midwest Gaming Classic, we were invited by Joe Granado to do the red carpet launch of the Bite Off 6. They haven't even announced what the theme is yet of the Bite Off 6, but they will be doing the awards ceremony at Midwest Gaming Classic during the first day. They're going to have a big old red carpet. They're going to a stage, a whole presentation. And so we're going to cover the red carpet, and we're going to go around and interview game developers. So the idea for our community experience for next week, and this will be the focus of the episode, we're not going to go do the normal things, is we're going to cover the best of the Bite Off. What I've done this weekend, and it didn't exist online, is I created a list for us of all the winners, and we're going to go through and play all of the winners. Some, we'll say not all, some, because there's a lot of games, man. Some of the winners of the Bite Off, we're going to talk about our favorites, what we enjoyed, and the developers. So that way, we start to get to know some of these developers from their previous games, and we'll cover Bite Off 6 demos once those come out as well in a future episode. And then we'll be ready when we do that red carpet. We're going to be able to like talk with these developers about their old games.
And it's kind of exciting because like you'll give the list. I'll pick how many games I want to play. You pick how many games you want to play. And I think it'd be awesome when we come back and see which games we had in common. Kind of like how we do our, games of the year, or we didn't even mention it to each other. And then we went into it. It was like, whoa, but yeah.
I think at minimum, though, we should at least both play the Wombat. The Wombat is something every Bite Off, which is like something that does something that nobody expected, like a weird game on the NES, something that's truly cool. The Wombat, the player's choice, and the overall winner. So player's choice is the one that the players chose to win. And then the overall winner that won the Bite Off. I think we should at least play those. And then we look through because like Bite Off 1 had 62 games in it. 62 games. There's no way we're playing 200 plus games in the next week. But like we'll pick a few that look cool. And of course, I have guilty knowledge of some that I already have physicals, so I would like probably see what those demos were like too. But at least let's play the winners of the Wombat, the Player's Choice, and the Best of. Those would be our commonality games, and we're gonna talk rapid fire shoot on all of these games. It's not going to be super in depth like we did here for Aethos because we won't have the time to do that.
Yeah,
But we'll talk about, what the games are and who developed them and then what we liked about it. So that way when we meet like Joe Sherman, who did Turtle Rescue back in the day, and he did a bunch of games and subsequent bite-offs, but he won, in one of the years, and we can talk about it and go in depth on what we liked about it. And then we see Joe at the bite-off, 6, we can be, hey, Joe, and we talk about like all the crazy shit. I just think it's a cool thing that we can do. And we're talking about indie games, indie NES homebrew.
And it gives me another reason to keep playing on my CRT. So,
yep.
Because that. I mean, that is like my setup right now. That Switch NES controller, Bluetooth, CRT. Be a good time. Good time.
Yeah. Can you use the Batocera, Xander, and connect to a network? Like, can you connect to your computer from Batocera?
Yes, but I can connect with my computer, but it's only like network sharing. Like if I'm doing the ROMs and stuff. If you mean like something that we could stream, I would just download an NES emulator.
Nope. What I'm saying is you could probably connect the Batocera to my NOS hard drive and play the games from the folders that I'll create
Oh yeah.
directly from Batocera on
Yeah.
my drive.
Yeah, I can do that.
So you can probably sit over there across the country and play an NES game from my hard drive.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's all I gotta say. That's insane. But yeah, so that way you can, because I've already went and created folders of all 5 bite-offs, and I have all the games for all the bite-offs in there. So that way we can enjoy ourselves. There's a lot. It's a freaking lot of games. It didn't. Again, another thing that didn't exist was an archive of all the bite-off stuff. So I've created an archive of the bite-off stuff. I've created a list of all the winners, and then I'm working on a memorable list of the non-winners as well. It's a wild one, dude.
That's gonna be a rabbit hole, man. I'm glad I'm not playing anything crazy right now. Like I was thinking about getting the new Resident Evil, but that's gonna be on hold now. I want to play some homebrews.
I don't play AAA shit anyways, unless it's like Nintendo themed. And I mean, hell, this week was Aethos and a couple other games I played, Xander.
That's right. Let's get into that.
This is a segue. So first and foremost, let me take a drink of some tequila. Oh yeah. First and foremost, when I'm over in training, sometimes I like to play a mind-melting, just relaxation game. And there's a bunch of Picross and Sudoku games that have come out over the last like couple years on Steam that I was playing. And so I was playing this game called like Pixel puzzle thing, but it's like you're on an overworld Zelda style map. There's little like holes and like these little holes that are like messed up graphics, and you go to it. And then you do like a little Picross. So no, like a little Picross thing. And then it creates the image. And then the like say it does a dolphin. Then the dolphin's in the water. Oh, in the overworld. And you get like a progression. There's level ups and everything in the game. But it's all based on Picross. It's freaking crazy. And I was playing the hell out of that. There was a touch Sudoku game. So like the Steam Deck that I had with me, my Steam Deck, you can like just touch all the different pieces to do all the Sudoku stuff. So I was like doing a bunch of those for time. So I was just having a lot of fun with those type of puzzle games because I didn't really have to think a whole lot. And I was having to, I had 8 closed book tests for this course that I went through. The final was like 50 questions closed book, all about military space operations. So my brain was like stuffed with information. So I just wanted to do something.
Yeah, that's what's good about puzzle games too, because it keeps your brain active, but at the same time, it's just kind of just going with the motions. I haven't played Sudoku since like Brain Age on the Nintendo DS. That was a lot of fun though. I did like Sudoku. Sudoku was big for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I've always enjoyed it, but I really like Picross. I started with Super Nintendo Mario's Picross and on the Game Boy, and I just love playing those games. And the ones on like the iPhone, there was a Konami one that was released. It was all Konami character art, and I beat that whole thing, and I'm on the second round of playing them again, and this time you can't use any, like you can't mark any of the things, so it's a little harder. It's pretty fucking fun, man.
It's cool. And
yeah,
you played like another game that I was looking at the show notes, and I was like, "Ooh, this is kind of cool." It's like Castlevania like.
Yeah. So one that I found, I did my own little mini randomizer because I'm like, all right, I'm done doing puzzle stuff. I busted out, it's called Slovenia. And so essentially it's a fantasy Metroidvania with moral choice, hunting the bosses. And so basically you track bosses, kill them, you explore all the places. The thing is though, it was okay. And that's the weird thing. So the graphics themselves, they're very like overdone to the point where they're like blended. They look beautiful, but to me, like the controls seemed a little floaty. Like you have to like use your spear, to like do a bunch of different things, but the spear was like a little bit of a laggy. So the only ability that I had was you throw the spear and you like climb up on it, but the way you climb up on it just seems a little off. And I can only imagine like because you can like do other things where you can jump off of it and you could swing. I never even got those yet, and I don't know, man. It makes felt like it was off.
It makes sense because I was watching like the video and it's almost like the movement's almost like Prince of Persia, where it's like kind of over exaggerated jumps. So it's like I could see where the timing, especially something like with the spear, I'm seeing it right now. I could see where like some of the timing could be off on that and kind of really mess you up. And that's probably why it's got mixed reviews on the page. That could be it.
The enemies were like copy pasty on the same screens, and just like constantly going through and attacking enemies, and so it was cool, but it needed a little bit more. So I played it for a while, got to a couple save points, and I'm like, all right, I need to play something a little bit better. And so yeah, like it was just it. Like it was okay. I need to play something.
It looks fun in all regards. It looks fun. It looks like a game that I would get on sale or something. I wish listed.
And it's the game is a $16 game by Frostleaf Games.
It is too.
Just so we can. Yeah, a little bit expensive, man. Yeah. And so, it just didn't quite hit it for me. But I then went to another game. And this wasn't the same day. I went to the next day. I'm like, I'm going to play something else. And this game has the potential of being a masterpiece. It is now my currently played backlog game in between all this NES madness, because that's my priority right now. But I started playing Gestalt, Steam and Cinder.
Yeah.
This game is like, okay, so you're talking about that Slavania, the controls didn't feel great. This one, they're tight as hell. This is exactly what I wanted out of a Metroidvania. It is a tribute to 16-bit, 32-bit, the Symphony of the Night and Super Metroids of the world.
Oh, yeah.
Platforming super tight, and the story is interesting. Everything's interconnected, jumping around between different areas and driving around, as you try to unlock new abilities. Easily see where you can't go to, and makes you want to go back. They have like a little bounty board where you can make bounties and stuff. Like, it is just cool as shit. The game normally is $20. It's been down to $8 on sale. But this one had like, got a bunch of different like kudos from different reviewers.
It looks beautiful. Like it looks like a high definition like DS Castlevania style game. Like even her movements are kind of a la carte. It's really, really cool. Like I like it a lot.
And then like the upgrade menu system is pretty damn addictive. So as you're like fighting enemies, your bar slowly builds up and you get a point, a level up point. And you can use these level up points to then go around on the grid and unlock things. So you unlock a little more health, a little more attack. You get another ability.
See, that's
fucking fun, man.
That's good. That's what gets you hooked in there, because like I always say, like a really good game is not just good gameplay, but when the menu keeps you enthralled. Like, leveling up skill trees, because I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of skill trees. Like as much as I love RPGs and stuff like that, skill trees, I'm like, to set the decision, and I don't know if I'm making the right decision. I don't know if I'm doing it right. But if it's something that makes it enticing and makes you be like, oh, I want to keep doing this, that's a good sign. That's a really good sign.
Well, yeah, exactly. And the whole, it's not even a grind, but the whole like going through and upgrading and then getting to a boss and fighting the boss and finally beating them, and doing the whole process of the game, going and finding these little, like the bounties, for example. It's like kill 10 of this enemy. You go through and kill 10 of the enemy.
I would spend a whole night doing the bounties, dude. Like that right there. Like I love those kind of challenges.
And they only give you a couple, and then you beat the bounties, and then it's like the bounty board's clear, and then you get to the next area, and then there's more bounties. And so what I did each night while I was in training, this was, after the second night, was I played like through to the next checkpoint, the next save point, because there's like these giant beams of save point. And then the story, it keeps on like going back into time, and you're seeing this whole like thing of like the history of the world where they're all like, there's like these little like different sects fighting each other, and you're like getting sucked in, and then you're like wake up and you're like, what the hell was I just doing? And it's a really cool story on top of it. So like this game has me sucked in. It might be in the running for one of the top Metroidvanias up there. Definitely.
Wow.
Maybe in the top 20, maybe, somewhere in like, I don't know yet, because I haven't played through it all. But it's freaking good. And, it's just one of those where if I get through the whole thing, who knows, it might be on the end of the year list, because our end of the year list doesn't have to be games that were from this year. It's freaking cool so far. So far, so good, Xander. So far, so good. And we'll see, because we're about to play like freaking 20 NES homebrew games.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I'm going to get crazy.
Yeah, so I may not play any Gestalt this week, because I'm going to be playing homebrew stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking crazy, bro.
And that gets us into the new and noteworthy this week. These are some games that we found on Steam that were like, hey, these kind of cool, and it's like our first impressions. The first game is called Lethal Honor Order of the Apocalypse. Blah blah blah.
Apocalypse.
But yeah, this game looked really, really cool. I like the combat a lot. Let's see. This game is like this makes you think of Hades in many ways too.
I like the comic book aspect of all the different like graphics, because it's like you're playing in like a 3D top-down overhead comic book, and then as you do the roguelike Hades style upgrades, they're like comic book panels popping in your face. It just looks super interesting to me.
It's like the roguelike child of Hades meets like Borderlands kind of art style, that cell shaded goodness, and like
comic zone, man. That's what I'm saying. Like,
dude, I love,
and it's like a gritty like 90s Spawn style, like Todd McFarlane style graphics.
Yeah. Oh, you know what it makes you think of? That you mentioned that, and I'm looking at one of the pictures. It makes you think of the Max from MTV. Remember the Max?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the Max is for sure. Oh. And here's the best part, Xander. It has a Xander style demo.
Oh, nice.
It has a demo that you can play. Because the game is $25. The lowest it's been is $20. So there are people playing like literally live right now. They're like, it's pre-recorded, so I think they're live right now. But there's like people like with their little pictures in the corner playing as we're talking about the game, which is really dope.
It looks really, really good. And it's a little bit more expensive than most people would look at like an indie game. But I feel like with its vibe and its art style and the gameplay looks really solid, because it has that kind of Hades roguelike aspect. Totally worth it. At least try out the demo.
Well, and interestingly, Viral Studios is the developer. This is the only game they've released. They released it in October 25, so I probably added it when it was announced or released to our list. We're that far behind, Xander, and we will. It's just gonna get lighter, brother. Like it's there's no hope for us. I love it. That's the best way to be. But the publisher Handy Games has a ton of stuff. Ironically, though, Viral Studios is working on like a surgery thing next. Like a surgery game. I'm like, it looks
like Trauma Effect.
It's called S4 game. It just shows like a bunch of people surrounding a body, and it looks like really bad, like NPCs. I don't know. I have no interest in that game. Like this one is dope in comic book aesthetics. Ooh, hold up. That was. Yeah, it was my microphone. It's all good. I'm a complete amateur when it comes to this. Amateur. You know what? Donald says, what the hell? Yeah. But yeah, like hilarious. I just talk too much with my hands, Xander. It's okay.
Okay. So you were thinking about the surgeons and all that stuff.
Dude,
This
you're crazy, man.
I'm done with it.
So yeah, I'm out of it. I'm done. Like, hilarious. Hey, it wouldn't be an indie credible if we didn't do something fucking crazy. I'm just saying, man. Every time, man. Every time.
Now, on to the next game, Monochrome Heights. I'm pulling up the footage right now on my side, because this game is like it's a platformer, but it kind of made me think of Ikaruga about how you can change from like the white to black robot. You can like switch it out, and doing so kind of partakes in the platforming aspect of it. So very snappy. It's a very, very snappy platformer.
I mean, it says that it's inspired by Super Mario Brothers and Mega Man. However, I mean, I published a game called Love 3 back in the day for Retroware. Kind of reminds me of that, like Battle Kid style, but I guess maybe it's more of a screen, level-based platformer. When it comes to it, which, I mean, it looks cool as shit. I think this game has some promise for sure. Again, released in October by One Frog Games. It's a $15 game. Which is pretty expensive. So hopefully there's a lot of content to it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, because it looks really cool. But I like the idea that you can swap your colors. But my brain really doesn't work like that. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why I like the fact that they kept like the backgrounds like a solid color that kind of made the black and white kind of stand out more. Because, it looks like one of those games that goes by so fast that's probably where they got the Mega Man inspiration, because it just makes you think of those platforms in Mega Man that flash when you have to hop on at certain points. Or like in Mega Man 8, where it was like the robots like, run, duck, duck. Like, can we?
Yeah, it's like, I don't think my brain's going to work like going through and in the air and pressing the button as I'm jumping. Like I could jump and shoot, but it's jump and swap color, swap. I'm watching the trailers. It looks like unreal. It says it's tough as nails, so it probably lives up to it. And it says it's similar to Super Meat Boy.
Well, it's got a demo, so
I'm down.
Test it out.
And now this developer has a game called Detective Maine, which looks like a super simplistic NES style overhead game. So
yeah, very like Earthbound-y.
Yeah, it's a Commodore. So like this is the episode of developers doing something completely different than what we're talking about. Episode like what the hell?
So here's a badass 16-bit fighter, and they also worked on the visual novel working at a supermarket. It's like what?
Dude, and then we got our next game, which is a freaking fever dream, psychedelic.
This game is cool. This game is called Art is Rifle. And
the Art is Rifle.
Art is Rifle. And
oh my God.
What's really crazy about this game is it's kind of a rhythm game in a lot of ways, because like your gun, when it hits certain things, it makes different drum sounds. So I was like listening to it, and I'm like, because at first I thought it was like the background music to the trailer or something. But I was like, wait a minute. I was like, the gun is making the music, and it's making color. And it, like you said, it's a fever dream.
Well, and like I guess the backgrounds change as you go.
Mm-hmm.
Like it changes, like it's like filters keep on getting applied. So like you're on a paper, and then you're on a black background, and it's trippy.
You know, this game, and I mean this as a compliment. This game is like when people used to talk about like the indie gaming scene back in the Xbox 360, PS3 days. They're like, oh yeah, those artsy fartsy indie games. This is one of those artsy fartsy indie games, but in the best way possible. I don't mean that in a bad way, because it is one of those like trippy psychedelic games that when people think of like the hipster indie guy, they think of that. You know, it's crazy.
This is the hipstering. and this game is $20. It's the lowest price though. It's been down to $4. So that ain't bad. Armand Pacan is the developer of this, and released it in February of last year. Here's the thing. It stands to our episode theme, which is unintentional. He's also coming out with a game called Death Counter, where he literally filmed dead bodies.
This game, I'm gonna have to pull the picture because the picture is like, seriously, it's like a severed head in front of a camera. I don't know if I can show this or not. It's like, what the hell?
Well, we can show it on the podcast where it's audio only. Perfect.
There you go, guys. See it first. But yeah, death counter. It's like, wow,
dude. Yeah, I just love the freaking crazy. This next game, have we covered Absalom before? I'm not sure if we have.
I don't think so. I mean, it looks like something we would love to play.
I swear I've either played it or I don't know. It looks very familiar, Xander.
It has it's a 2D brawler. Kind of makes you think of it says this is an original roguelike beat 'em up. Kind of makes you think of like Guardian Heroes in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
like maybe that's
how the characters are on the fire. You have like a lot of awesome beat 'em up style like Melee. It's co-op, so this is definitely a game we could play streaming if we ever stream again.
Yeah, I'm out of sleep.
I think every time I've messaged you sleep.
Well, it was funny too because I like woke up and I saw your message like, hey, if you're around, we can stream. I'm like, damn it, I would have loved to stream last night. That's like, fuck.
Yeah, I was hanging out and I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was just playing Nintendo.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, but I was like, we could also stream. Yeah, so wild though this game, and the thing is though, is it developed and published by Dotemu, which is a bigger developer a little bit, but the actual developer is Gourd Crush Games and then Supermonk. So there's like multiple teams involved with creating this. So it's definitely a bigger style game. They don't have any images in the about though, at least that I can see until you get to the bottom. So I think that they are. It's very interesting to say the least. But it's a beat 'em up through and through.
Great.
It got some Steam awards. They wanted to nominate it last year. It costs $25. It's been down to $20. So these games are pretty expensive today. I don't like it. It must be cheaper. So the guys that worked on Absalom worked on Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
And Streets of Fury, which is wild. So yeah, so maybe not as indie as they could be, because yeah, it's a lot of hipsters here doing some shit, Xander. So yes, Absalom. Is it indie, listeners? You tell us. Do you consider this indie? Because this one and the next game, which did we cover the next game?
We did cover the next game, but I think it's worth mentioning again because it's a very beautiful looking game, and that's By Sweet Carol.
By Sweet Carol, which looks like something out of like a Disney film.
Yeah.
And basically like the late 80s, early 90s trippy style Disney film. With lots of evil bats and things. It's like my buddy Philo Barnhart, who worked on The Black Cauldron and later went with Don Bluth. Yeah, that's what this reminds me of. Playing through it, it's like Prince of Persia, little puzzle based, so it's not like super precision platform. It's more of an adventure game where you walk through and it's like like a dragon's lair.
Yeah, it's an experience game.
Yeah. And then there's some times when you got to go through and trial and error. It was fun as shit. I added it to my backlog. It's not necessarily on my like play now backlog, but it's there. And it's a $30 game, so it's not cheap.
Yeah.
It's definitely not cheap. This is the episode of not cheap games, people. Right. But like this game is like beautiful. The art is insane. It's an old school adventure in the 90s. That's what this is. And the story is like trippy as shit. It's freaking really, really cool.
Nice. And this one here.
Let's Hold Sewing Machine is the developer.
Oh, yeah. What else did they work on? Did they do like a Dead Bodies game or?
They have not worked on anything.
Love Hotel.
Yeah, Love Hotel. I mean, the publisher Maximum Entertainment has like crazy shit like Squirrel with a Gun. So
It's a fun game.
It is a fun as shit game. Yeah. So this episode is the crazy one with games that are pretty expensive episode.
Yeah, this one right here, plus Ultra Legato. It's 2D hand-drawn Metroidvania set during the Age of Discoveries. Grab your halberd and become a hero amid the storm.
Yeah, I mean, this game looks really cool. Kind of like Slavania style is what I'm getting the vibes of, where, the graphics are very beautiful and refined. Using the halberd looks like it's a little more action-based. Like the graphics, but the gameplay looks a little more, looks a little tighter. So I'm hoping that, it controls as well as it looks in the trailer, Xander.
Yeah, it looks fun. Like I watched some of the trailer footage. I'm like, that's not bad. It's cool.
They got inspiration from Super Metroid Hollow Knight, Comic Zone, Half-Life 2, and Europia Universalis, which I never heard of. So, they definitely have they put their inspirations on their sleeve, which I always love to see.
Yeah,
released in October by Pontica. And they don't have anything else that they have on Steam that they show. So, yeah, really cool looking game. Definitely worth checking out if you like your Metroidvanias and hand-drawn games, because this is the hand-drawn episode of Very Sensitive Keen. The opposite of NES Homebrew, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, these indie games are insane, and they just pop up like this, man.
Yeah.
I'm finding shit. But guess what we found for budget this week, Xander?
What we find?
Nada.
Yeah.
Nothing. I found nothing for the.
I was waiting. I was like, maybe he didn't put in the show notes. Maybe it was a surprise or something.
I literally wrote nada. That's why we went so far down the rabbit hole on some of the stuff we've been playing and things, because there wasn't a whole lot of budget there. I mean, for the aftermarket stuff, we are talking bite off. So, I mean, I think we're gonna, segue that into the next week's episode, where we're going to talk in depth about, like 20 NES homebrew games, part of the bite-off, some of the best that we've seen. It's
going to be exciting.
It's going to be wild, dude. And, the bite-off is something that's really cool and unique, and I feel like it's going to be fun to jump down that rabbit hole, because, we're starting to, get some momentum as an indie games podcast. And It's really cool to be able to cover, the homebrew stuff, since that's been always near and dear to my heart, publishing the book on it. And, it's just fun to see how it's evolved.
Yeah. And then like I said early in the show, I feel like I'm just riding, because, you hold it dear to your heart, and I'm learning about it. I mean, I've always been curious, like it was with the indie scene when we first started a podcast. I did indie stuff, reviews for the Switch and stuff like that, when the Switch was, hot on my YouTube channel. But, to actually have like a weekly show talking about indie games and stuff like that is really, really cool. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to try out these NES games.
Dude. And it's just fun to see how deep the rabbit hole goes, because it never ends, man. And, from indie to homebrew, it's all the same to me. Like, it's all games made by small, passionate developers, and it's really cool to just experience what they want you to see.
Oh, yeah. Well, we want to use this time to also give a big shout and huge thank you to our executive producers on Jeff's Patreon. And for folks that are just joining us, or returning listeners, Jeff, tell us about this Patreon.
So the Patreon itself is really just a way for people to follow all my madness, all the crazy shit I got going on, because I'm usually working on 3, 4, 5 projects all at the same time in different realms of things. And the hardest part has been finding one synced place where people could follow me. So that's where the Patreon is perfect for it. You can join for free. However, there are a couple different tiers for people if they want to support. One is a tier where they are a contributor, and they can contribute to any upcoming book that I have with personal stories. So like if I'm doing a full-fledged like I'm doing the Switch book year 3 that I'm going to announce, and it'll be like in the spring, late spring probably, the Patrons can write in that. And then if they go into the next tier, because I only have 2, the executive producers, they can do everything from the contributor tier, but they also get really cool physical stuff from me. A couple times a year, I'm mailing them off crazy shit. And at the end of the year, we're doing an exclusive wooden slipcase for a book I never made a slipcase for. This last year was the Metroidvania Phase 1 with the artwork that was amazing from Phil Summers, who's also done the Mega Man hand-drawn guy with Capcom recently. And so I actually just today packaged them all up, and it's going out to the Patrons from 2025. And we got 2 new ones in 2026 we're going to talk about, because we give them a shout-out at the end of every episode.
Indeed. So again, guys, feel free to join the Patreon. Also, our Discord and our Facebook page. No, Facebook is Indie Gaming Gems, but that's us.
Yeah, I mean, I might as well just rename it, but I just need to go in there and click rename.
But yeah, it's free to join, and we have a really good little nice community of folks that are just always recommending games for us to play, or talk about any sort of indie games. And of course, a lot of them are also executive producers on the show as well, like good old Akaroth.
Akerloth, I've been chatting with about the nostalgia of how we feel super old for considering that back in the day, just anything with disk space wasn't retro, and now it's going down the
my gosh. I made a video a couple of years ago, and I say a couple of years, probably 5 or 6 years ago, where I was like, so is the PS3 and the Xbox 360 retro now? And I kind of broke it down, and there were some people that I could just tell that just didn't want to accept the fact that it's getting old, man. It's getting old, but it's been a long time. Time.
And as time goes by, and now we're 40 years removed from the Legend of Zelda this year. Legend of Zelda was considered retro when it was 20 years old.
Yeah.
So then you look at, what was released in 2006? Is that retro?
Yeah.
That's the wildness. And it's just 10 years ago. And so that is always an interesting evergreen topic, and you can always revisit. Another patron is David Isherwood. He's over in the UK. And then, he's definitely been one of the community members that's participated.
And of course, you got the disgruntled gamer from Thunderdome Gaming Society, which I need to go back on our Facebook page, because he just recommended a game by Yuji Naka that is the new Space Harrier, pretty much. That's pretty much what it is.
And just like for him, it hurt my feelings that I hadn't been tracking this shit, because literally all the games that Yuji Naka has been releasing, and then there's this one, and it's well, shit, it's on the dude's Steam page. It's on the Steam page. I just haven't seen it. And we covered Indie Games podcast, we haven't seen it, and it's damn. So freaking Thunderdome's always finding the good finds, always posting cool shit.
You know what you should do?
His channel.
You know what you should do is you should get it and play it with your Eartheon controller. That's what you should do. Hell yeah,
for sure. That would be hilarious.
And coming in, drum roll please, we got Jesse Glenn.
Jesse Glenn, yeah, and Jesse Glenn's always posting stuff about different physical collections and crazy stuff. And he's a drumline dude too. He's a drummer, so he's probably really gonna like that crazy drum game that we talked about.
Yeah, I think he'd really like that. Good point.
Then we got Jacob Henrichsen and Brian Pittman, which were near the end of the year last year. They joined as executive producers, and both have been chatting via Patreon with me, just talking about different pieces of the collectible scene of the stuff I've released. These dudes have been following me for the past 12 years now on collectible stuff. Back when I used to do exclusive releases on Patreon, book releases on Patreon. These dudes are insane. OGs, man.
And we have some newcomers for 2026. We have Kai Kenderson.
And Alex Sugo. joined after I relaunched the new tiers. The other piece is that there's only 10 slots for the executive producers because I hand make everything. So 10 is about the most I'll do. So right now we have 8 people that are in that top tier. But we have tons of other Patreons there at the below ones. And you can just join for free to join us down this indie gaming gems, indie credible, crazy Hagen Alley trip that we did. And I think you might have Xander scrambled the Disgruntled Gamers thing. I don't think it was the same creator of Eartheon, was it?
No. I was just talking about the Eartheon controller. Like, just playing it with the Eartheon, like the game itself.
Well, I don't think it was the same developer, though.
No, it's not.
Okay, I was like,
No.
it was the same dude. Okay, I was like, wait.
You're thinking Yuzo Koshiro. Like, Yuzo Koshiro did the music for Eartheon. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think it's the same guy, Xander. I've my brain, the tequila's hitting me. It's real.
Anyway, guys, this concludes another episode of the Indie Credible Podcast. As always, thanks for watching. Happy gaming and support indie. Your eyeball.